the other three for dead rather. Melkamu did so well. It looked like she was going to take third, but Masai just found a second win from absolutely nowhere in the final 200 metres. Thrilling stuff and wonderful from the Kenyans.
Well, Shalane Flanagan, who took bronze medal at the Olympics, comes across a long way behind there. The others coming, Felix comes across the line as if she's just won it. But Vivian Chariot, the reigning world, African and Commonwealth champion at 5,000 metres, debuts at 10,000 metres and takes the gold again. What a run. And the silver medal going there to Sally Kipyega, who can hardly believe it herself. She was the fastest in the field coming into this, but she's more than happy with a silver medal, beating the defending champion Lynette Masai. And the Kenyan team watching on from have the strength of depth of the Kenyans, but now the strength of depth of the Kenyans has come up to include the world beaters as well, again on the track, and they really have deserved it. Athletes here like Florence Kiplagat, even in the World Cross Country Championships, leading the way a couple of years ago at the start of the rise, followed on by Lynette Masai, and now Vivian Chariot.
Are we witnessing the start, Angus, of another long period of domination? We saw this morning a 1-2-3 in the marathon, a 1-2-3 in the 10,000 metres. What a day, what a championships this could turn out to be for Kenya.
Well, I think it's still a great result for Lynette Masai. Vivian Chariot is 27. She's 6 years older than 21-year-old Lynette Masai, who, don't forget, became the world champion at the age of 19. Big hugs all round between Chariot and Sally Kipyega, 25 years old. And she could hardly believe it that she picked up the silver medal. I think she fully expected Lynette Masai to come past her. It's one thing setting fast times in the year. There's a different kind of mentality that you need when you come to the major championships.
Representing Kenya, Lynette Masai.
Well, the defending champion didn't quite manage to defend her title, but she comes away with a bronze medal. She's got 3 silver medals at the World Cross Country Championships. She thought that she might end that run earlier on this year, but she's only 21 years old. She is developing into a huge talent, but of course, having won the title at 19 2 years ago, the expectations are so high. Sally Kipyega came into this race the fastest woman in the world this year. She comes out of it with a silver medal. She was delighted with that, and well, she might be. She's split the 2 big Kenyan stars. However, it's the pocket dynamo herself, Commonwealth Games champion, this major title over 10,000 metres. What a run, what an athlete. She's a little bit older than the other 2. Certainly wouldn't know it when you look at her, but she has developed now into the real deal. She used to be the woman that chased Tirunesh Dibaba around the track, no longer.
Moment for Kenya, and you get the feeling that it's going to be a national anthem we hear on numerous occasions over the next few days.
Of a bronze and the team event if they keep this rhythm going.
Kiplagat won the race in 2 hours 28 minutes and 43 seconds, with Priska Jeptor finishing second in 2 hours and 29 minutes, while another Kenyan, Sharon Cherop, came in third in 2 hours 29 minutes and 14 seconds.
Kenyan flags raised on the flagpole. It's the athletes' turn to face them.
At the moment. Hit the bell then with 1 lap to go, and there's still a lot of men still in it at the moment.
Yeah, it's Aratani of Uganda, but he's got on his shoulder 3 Kenyans, including Matilong, who is just behind him.
Richard Matilong has managed to take medals in the last couple of championships, but look at that, Ezekiel Kemboi, the 2004 Olympic champion, now breaking past the 19-year-old Ugandan.
Tari as well is moving, the Frenchman in 4th.
Well, it's not going to be a 1-2-3 for Kenya, or is it? Arapni now is now beginning to run out of steam. The 2 Kenyans now ahead. Ezekiel Kemboi, Kiprop behind him. There's a battle between them, a bit of a trip there from the second Kenyan, and Ezekiel Kemboi is away. Ezekiel Kemboi coming through. It's a battle for the bronze medal between Bob Tyree, Arapni and Midayin, but no one is going to catch up with the man in front. Ezekiel Kemboi running all the way out into lane 7 to finish and comes to a stop, and he takes the world title. The former Olympic champion has had to live a little bit in the shadow of Brumin Kiprop Kapruto on the global level for a little while, but he's back up there at the top, and Kenya take another gold medal. Brilliant running, brilliant tactics, but it's not the 1-2-3 that the Kenyans were hoping for.
No, it was a close finish as well for second, with Mekisi Benabat just missing out, I think, having settled for the bronze medal, the Frenchman. Wonderful run, though, from the Kenyans, and in particular, this man Ezekiel Kemboi, 8:14.85. In the end, the world record wasn't under threat at all.
Well, everybody seems to want to have some sort of Usain Bolt style celebration these days, and Ezekiel Kemboi's coming up with his 18 minutes 14. Well, it certainly wasn't the world record pace that Brumin Kapruto was predicting before the race started, but it's a silver medal then for the defending champion. But again, it was between him and Ezekiel Kemboi. Richard Matilong this time not able to go with his more illustrious men in front, and Mekisi comes up with another medal then. And then a great run here from Ezekiel Kemboi, who was so far ahead of Brumin Kapruto that he could run all the way over to this side of the track and jog across the line. You can see there that France nearly managed to get the bronze medal. Brumin Kapruto almost ambushed silver, right on the line for silver, but just about hanging on. In the end, Bob Tyree dropped back. The pace was set by the Ugandans for much of it, and much of the pre-race talking before that, both Ugandans were saying that they were up to challenge the Kenyans, but in the end, there was no challenging the pedigree of Ezekiel Kemboi. goes. Here we come then. This is the point where Vivian Cheriet started to move into the front and go away from the field in the 10,000 metres. And there she is again, the defending champion this time. Coming towards the bell, Lynette Massai coming back round the outside again to join her. Vivian Cheriet just having a little look over her shoulder, and she'll see that she has Chirono, her teammate, behind her, but also Messeret Defoe is running far better in this race than she was in the 10,000 metres.
Well, this is what we're expecting, 300 to go. Now, can she show the class we've shown all season? Cheriet, she's hitting the front, but she's got some huge competitors behind her. There's a little over 200 to go. Who will land the gold medal?
Well, Cheriet has got that world-famous kick over the last lap, and she's going there again, but she hasn't broken her teammates yet. Lynette Massai, though, looks as though she's gone, but Messeret Defoe, the former world record holder, is still there at the moment. Defoe is coming. She had illness problems in the 10,000 metres, but she could come through and take this title. Cheriet, though, kicks again, goes away a little bit. Defoe just gets clipped on the heels a little bit, and it's got Kenyan behind her, but Cheriet is coming away to take this. Vivian Cheriet coming across the line to become the second woman in history to take the double of the 5,000 and 10,000 metres. Gold for Kenya and silver, and Messeret Defoe has to make do with the bronze in the end, but that's a terrific comeback for her after the problems she had in the 10,000 metres. Lynette Massai comes across the line after that. This perhaps a little bit too short for her, but what a run by Vivian Cheriet. She spent her apprenticeship following home the likes of Defoe and Tiranesh Dibaba, but since 2009 she has been the woman to beat over 5,000 metres, and this year as well over 10.
Well, it was a brave effort from Defoe. Had these stomach problems earlier in the week. With about, 200 to go, it looked like she might be able to take Cheriet, but Vivian Cheriet showing that she is the queen of distance running at the moment, and that last 100 metres, she was simply unstoppable. No one was going to get anywhere near her, and a double. That's a superb week for Cheriet, isn't it?
That is an amazing week for Vivian Cheriet, and Kenya pick up another gold medal, their 5th of the week. Cheriet, of course, started it all off after Edna Kiplagat had taken the marathon title on the very first morning. David Rudisha added the 800 metres as expected. Ezekiel Kemboi won the 3,000 metre steeplechase last night. But Vivian Cheriet, the star of the Kenyan team, picked up her 2nd gold of the week. The first Kenyan ever to do this double.
Vivian Cheriet, just showing she really is the best in the world. Never really under any threat. About 200 metres to go. Looked like Defoe might at least put her under some pressure, but didn't really work out that way. And a 1-2 for Kenya, who are having a very fine championships indeed.
ABC Channel 1, Kenya's watching.
Kiprop then hits the front then with 600 metres to go. Mekanen Gebremedin also running well as well. Perfectly placed on his shoulder. Is the Ethiopian about to attack? Kiplagat has moved through as well onto the shoulder of the Ethiopian, and the two Moroccans are also there, just biding their time on the outside as they head towards the bell. At the moment, Asbel Kiprop leads them through the bell. Him and the Ethiopian, Mekanen Gebremedin leading at the moment, but Asbel Kiprop now beginning to stretch away. Here comes Silas Kiplagat though on the outside. the fastest man in the world, goes in front. Kiprop allows him to go, and Kiprop is now boxed on the inside. This is dangerous for the Olympic champion. He sees a gap though. Kiprop has left it open, and Kiprop is back in front. Huge mistake there by Kiplagat to allow his teammate coming through. It's a fight at the moment between Iguida and Mekkonen Gebrimedin as they come into the final straight. Kiprop against Kiplagat. Which of the Kenyans is going to win? Iguida coming through as well. Kiprop coming away. Kiplagat can't get there, and the Olympic champion is going to be crowned world champion at the line. 3:35.7. Not a particularly rapid time, but that was all about the race rather than the time. And the Olympic champion Asbel Kiprop picks up his first world title. Third time of asking, off the medal podium in the last 2 editions, but he could not be denied this time. And in one sense he has his teammate Silas Kiplagat to thank for leaving that space at 200 meters on the inside. He was in all kinds of trouble for a few minutes, but Kiplagat didn't go to the curb, and he knows it. Well, I was about to say that it was being a perfectly executed race from Silas Kiplagat, but he refused to close the door on his teammate. And you see there a bronze medal coming for Centrovic for the United States. He must have had a terrific final 80 meters to come past the Moroccan. Here it is. Look where Centrovic is. He's way back at the moment, but away comes Asbel Kiprop. Pre-race favourite delivering on that. Silas Kiplagat's fast time in the end got him second place, and Centrovic really coming through as Iguida really faded towards the end. Gold then for Kenya, silver for Kenya. So, Asbel Kiprop takes the world title.
ABC Channel 1, Kenya's watching.
He has certainly justified in full his recall to the Kenyan marathon team. He wasn't originally picked by Athletic Kenya, would you believe? Such is the strength of the running in Kenya. But I think that David Akeo and alike will be very, very happy that they went back on that decision and decided to include the world champion. A little wave now as he comes in towards the end of this race. It won't be as fast as the time that he set in Berlin
2 years ago. But it is going to be another world title for Abel Karui. He looks behind him, but he might as well not bother. They're miles behind you. Abel Karui coming towards the line to retain his world title. The third man in the history of the World Championships to retain this crown. And he comes across with a dominant performance in the men's marathon. And like Edna Kiplagat in the women's marathon, he takes the men's crown. Kenya are the kings of marathon for both men and women. And he even got enough energy at the end for a little dance like Ezekiel Kemboy after the 3,000-meter steeplechase. 2 hours, 7 minutes and 38 seconds. Well, there is the gap. Of course, the